Welcome to Blue Tinted Glasses, the home of Leicester City talk on YouTube. Fan debates, live watch-alongs, post-match reactions, and all the Foxes banter you could ask for. Subscribe now and see the game through Blue Tinted Glasses.
Well then, Mahrez has made something of that. It's Mahrez! 2-0 to Leicester City! Next to him, Anthony Kanaka finds Wood. Wood should score! Wood finds Kanaka! Yes! Here comes Leicester again with Heskey and Ibbett! Oh, this is incredible! Got Jamie Vardy with him. Jamie Vardy sets off. Jamie Vardy!
Blue Tinted Glasses, the home of Leicester City talk on YouTube.
Hello everyone, it's the second game of the season. Unfortunately, it's our first loss. It's a 2-1 defeat away to Preston North End. And as Cleo's put up here, HMS sinking ship. Very poor performance. Give it to me raw and unfiltered. Let's come to you, Luke, straight away. What do you make of that match?
Absolutely honking, disgusting. Probably one of the most irritated I've ever been watching Leicester City in a long time. It's well and truly fair enough to get really mad in the absolute dross we watched last season under two garbage absolute managers, but that wasn't a league above. We're now in the Championship. We know we've still got a very good, decent squad compared to a lot of the other people and other teams here, and that was just not acceptable. Away or not, I'm very, very concerned about Marty Cifuentes already, and it's early days.
I'll say there is no denying we have one of the better, if not like top 5 squads in the Championship. I think the thing that disappoints me most today is you'd hope there'd be some new energy in the players, right? With how little we've managed to do the clean out, like they just don't care, and I think like that's a lot of the issue too, right? I mean, yeah, there is definitely a team you can put out there of players who care, but it's either quality or players who care. Very few of the ones who are better players actually want to be here, right? And I mean, I'm questioning when are we going to have an enjoyable 90 minutes of football again as a Leicester fan?
Yeah, we feel far away from it at the moment. Well, I'll tell you what, let's I'll skip the lineup. We'll come to that later. Let's look at the match stats. Match stats don't really lie here. So finished 2-1, but Preston with 2 expected goals to our 1.12. They could easily have got a third there right at the end, 1 big chance each. We had more possession, 60%, not the kind of Enzo days of 70-odd. 12 shots of Preston, 14 from us. But yeah, I think we would consider ourselves lucky to get something from that. I don't think we really started playing until probably minute 65. Then we did obviously get a goal back and with some Monga magic, who will obviously come to quickly. But in the end, we didn't really push on and manager didn't look too great. So yeah, there you go. Exactly. Second game of the season. Preston wanted it more and we've got attitude issues. And yeah, we're going to talk about that a lot. Right, let's go straight through some of the players. You can give me some of your feedback then. So Jakub Stolarczyk, he's normally pretty trusting goal. He did make a great save towards the end, but massively at fault at the first one. I'll come to you, Daka, on this one because West Ham talks about the shocker. But what did you make of this guy today?
One massive mistake. That's probably the way I'll categorize it. I thought he made a decent stop late on. He just had a howler, and obviously that brings him down heavily, right? I think I put him at a 3 of 3 or something. Had a decent game, except for the fact he had a stinking moment that cost a goal. And that obviously drags down a lot, but that's what happens when you're the goalkeeper. Yeah, like a 3 or 2.
Yeah, what did you make of him, Luke?
2, poor. I don't think he had a decent game at all. You can blame Thomas all you want, but even the second goal that went in, his positioning was quite questionable. I thought he had an absolute stinker today, to be honest with you. And I like Jakub as well, right? But yeah, today he was not good. Not good on the ball, not good at shot stopping. He'd one decent save, I think, and that was it. But other than that, poor for me.
Yeah, we've got a 3.3 there. And of course, that mistake as well early on, it puts you on the back foot. So far this season, Huddersfield game, we did take the lead, but we are struggling to sort of get ahead and stay ahead and keep control of the game. But look, you've got to give these keepers chances. You are going to make, as a young keeper, some mistakes. Right, let's move on. There's only one person I can start with this player. So, Doc, talk to me about your favourite player. It's Luke Thomas. He was hauled up later in the game, but he started in the left back position.
We have a Luco. Please play him. And we don't even have him in the squad today, man. Like how he did get subbed off today there. At least credit to Marty for that. But how has... Like, please, man, please. I don't want to talk about him anymore. Can we please have someone else at left back? Please.
Luke, what do you make of Luke Thomas?
We also have Ayew, who can play with both feet and is so much faster than Luke Thomas. Luke Thomas's closest partner in crime as a centre-back is most likely going to be Yannick Vestergaard. That's two heavily exploited people for pace on transition, and they were both exploited today. Luke Thomas, he can't string a pass together. He chases shadows. He gets megged all the time. He gets skinned. I don't see... What people see in this guy, I have no clue, and I've been saying it for a year and a half now. This guy is not good enough. He's not been good enough at championship level. He's had several loan spells to no avail. He needs to be gone. He should have been sold. He should not be starting. There's countless players that should be starting well in front of him. I really don't like that Marty keeps starting him. It's another asterisk next to Marty for me that we'll get into later. Luke Thomas needs to be a bench option or a cup game player and nothing else.
Yeah, he got it too. I've got to say, I think the thing that really made him look even worse is that when Justin played at left back, he just looked so much better. Even Hamza at the end at left back probably looked better, Luke Thomas.
Yep.
I think, this comment basically just kept getting caught out of position, giving the ball away, couldn't really win the ball back. And I think as well, Marty's got to learn that him and Vestergaard together is just asking for trouble. It just cannot play that way. Right, let's move on to James Justin. He got taken off with an injury, but he started as captain. Luke, what did you make of JJ? Could be his last game, maybe not. Got a heavy injury, but he has been linked with obviously Leeds.
I see where Doug's coming from, to be honest with you, because I don't want to see any more players add to the pile of people that are going to go for free, and there is already so many of them in this squad that we know are going to go for free, and Dak is one of them. But James Justin, to me, I still want to hang on to him just because I think that if he is going to be played on the left, and if we're not going to sign anyone, if we're not going to play a Luka or Ayew, who I do definitely want to see a lot more of, particularly Ayew, he had a stinker today, I'll be honest with you. But yeah, on the right side, mate, he can't invert Anil. He just doesn't have the IQ. He doesn't have the passing ability and the positional awareness that Ricardo does. I don't want to see him playing that right-hand side inverting anymore. It's not working.
Yeah, what did you make of the second half, though? Because when he came to left back, he was... Because it's interesting, right? I'm seeing a lot of fives in chat. I just skipped it right now. He got a 2.7. So he was pretty rinsed by people. But he did improve a lot in the second half. So go on, Duck, talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, we could play him at left back, but man, the thing is... And, I mean, we've been too kind on the followers for so long, right? Because Justin is a good squad option, which is what Leeds is thinking now. We need to just get the players out of him and rebuild completely. And he's got 1 year left in his deal, a 5 million offer, whatever's on the table. And with the performance he put in today against Preston, man, how he got skinned by that left back. Their left back, by the way, Small, who was incredible. Get him gone, man. Get him gone. But better second half, yeah.
Yeah, I do agree with this. He was at fault for a couple of big chances they missed. I mean, this thing I did say to you, it's quite similar to Angeball, that you're quite reckless going forward, so you're going to leave gaps in behind. Caleb Okoli, Luke, take this for me. What did you make of him? I thought he was a lot better than he was in the previous match.
He was my man of the match, to be honest with you. I thought he was the most
Has to be Monga, no?
The only reason I'm going to go Caleb Okoli is because he played the whole game. I thought he was consistent the whole game. He had to rotate because of subs and injuries and stuff like that. I thought his pace was reliable. He was decent on the ball. He was decent at set pieces. To me, Caleb Okoli just had I wouldn't say outstanding, but a solid performance from start to finish. Reliable. Much better return to form from him. I would give him an 8, to be honest with you. He was my man of the match just because of consistency. I
mean, not gonna lie, I think you said it completely correctly. He was one of our better players. Didn't do much wrong. Adapted to the right back when he needed to. He still has some issues on the ball, but yeah, one of the best players we had on the pitch today, and he actually plays like he wants to be here. So fair play.
Yeah, I think you can see when you get a 5.2 that whenever we have a defeat, understandably the ratings normally get modified, shall we say, because people feel it in a moment. But I think that was pretty sound analysis from Luke. I think he was steady, didn't really do much wrong. Yannick Vestergaard, talk to me, Andreas. Now, this is someone who I know is going to get a bad rating, but to defend him slightly, I would actually say that, well, he was good in patches, but he just got exposed for his pace. All right,
yeah.
Now,
I thought he had a few pretty solid spells where he was actually one of the better players on the pitch. He played some good balls through the line. I mean, if we're going to do something from defense, these line-breaking passes, they have to come from him when Soumar is the one sitting deep and Caleb Okoli is beside him. made a crucial tackle just before we actually got they got the second goal, where he did brilliantly. And yeah, the pace is the issue. I think pairing up with Thomas on the left hand side cannot happen. We need a rapid left back there and physical who can make sure the pace doesn't get exposed as much. And
the thing is, though, Duck, do you, because this is the point, right? Martial exposes Vestergaard even more than Enzo.
It does. It definitely does.
Because that's the problem, right? Is that I've said that he actually was good in patches, but the problem is if you look at him, he's definitely a big reason why we've conceded both those goals, and we could have conceded a third goal, which would also have been his fault, right? But that's an issue. So when you've got essentially an oil tanker moving upfield and they can't get back, but then does that mean he's got to drop deeper because he hasn't got the pace? Like in the Premier League, it was super understandable, but last time in the Championship, there wasn't a single game where Yannick Vestergaard looked as bad as he did today in terms of positioning and pace. Like, if it's Osmajic from Preston North End is rinsing you, which he did, Luke, you have something to say. I mean, it's a fair question, right?
I'm jealous because I would have defended him as well to begin with, I think. And if you just remove that goal in isolation because of his pace, I thought I would have come out here and I said to you, I thought he had a good game. I thought he was making, as Duck said, good line-breaking passes. He made a good tackle at the end of that second half as well that could have cost us that we might have conceded a goal if it wasn't for that effort. I thought he was really good in everything but his pace, and I agree with you fully. I think that what's sad is that to get the best out of Harry Winks and Yannick Vestergaard, both you need to control the ball, which Enzo did, but it's so much more crucial on transition to have pace, so it makes him look bad, way worse than it would look Harry Winks look bad in the wrong system. So I still think that we could give him another chance, like Nelson was honking. But yeah, if we're not going to control the ball and we can't string any passes together, like we'll talk about the whole possession stat later because I want to touch on it. But yeah, for me, mate, I gave him a 6. I think that it's a shame he's got no pace. Yeah, I knew he was going to get fucking 2.
I know, but I got to say, I think if you are going to play this system, he can't play, which we did say. We said it even before the season began. That is a real worry if you're going to play him. And you could put Faes even on, who looked quite good when he came on, or Ben Nelson or Okoli. Yeah. If he keeps playing Vestergaard, every team is going to look at the videos and they're going to see exactly what you need to do. And, we called it out even in the match analysis, and Preston obviously are not stupid. They know what to do it. Buba Soumar, talk to me, Duck.
Shit first half, better in the second. Not good, though. I think I gave him a 4.
I thought he was poor both halves. Poor both halves, sick of playing him, fucking bin him or sell him and take whatever you can. Another player that's only got a year left in his contract.
Exactly.
He can't cut it in English football. He's a dud. In my opinion, I'm gonna flog this horse to death. I want Bilal to play in his position if he is going to stay, or get someone else in there. It's not Skip is not the answer. It is not Buba Soumar. He did nothing both halves for me. In my opinion, he had no impact whatsoever, and I kept forgetting he was even playing in that first half. Get rid.
See, I think you guys are getting too thinking just about the first half, because that second half, he actually made quite a few passes and key passes, and the stats even back that up. I'm not saying he was brilliant. I don't think he was maybe the worst culprit on the pitch, but you guys are giving him a 3.4.
But hang on, Anil. What did those passes do? Were there any advantageous passes?
Yeah,
or passes about 5 feet away?
Key passes is putting in the box. He did it. No, he did. He did make some key passes to set like Abdul and Monga in a few times. He definitely did it. I'm not his biggest fan. I agree. I think it's a big problem position that we have in the pitch. And yeah, I agree. I think he should be doing more. I think he was poor in the first half, but I actually think in the second half, I'm pretty sure I was saying it even in the watch along, that he improved a lot and he was receiving the ball, driving with it and sending it through into the box or onto the wings. So I think he was doing his job a bit much better in that second half. But look, I'm not going to try and gaslight you and say that like he's an all-star. He's not. It's a massive step down. But just trying to be fair. Harry Winks, go on, Luke. You're normally part of the Harry Winks fan club. He walked straight down the tunnel at the end.
I know.
Doesn't want to be here clearly. But what did you make of his performance on the pitch?
I would have given him a 6.5. I still thought he was decent on the ball. Mm-hmm. Didn't turn the ball over too much. He was getting stuck in a little bit. 6.5 wasn't really amazing. Went a bit missing in that second half, to be honest with you. I thought maybe he was actually going to get subbed off, to be honest. But yeah, first half I thought he was decent. We still clearly need him in the side because no one else can do it other than Ricardo Pereira. And who knows how many games he's going to manage. He's an injury case.
Yeah, Duck, what did you make of Winks?
All right. Yeah. Not the impact he had at Sheffield Wednesday or against Sheffield Wednesday, But I mean, he clearly doesn't want to be here. A year later on his deal, get him out. I'd rather see a player 80% as good, 70% as good come in for him, but fight for the badge every step of the way, right? I mean, there was one moment I think in particular that showed the struggles when he's not wanting to be here, not fighting for it. That was when we got a long ball up to Mavididi. He was 1v3, and there was no supportive run because Wings was just jogging up the field, not in a rush to come and help his teammate. And he wants out. So let him go for like, 5 million, 4 million. I don't care. Get him out.
I think he was pretty pissed when Ayew didn't square the ball to him as well, where he could have scored.
Understandably so, though.
Yeah. Well, he got a 4.5. I think he was reasonable today. I don't think he did too much wrong, but definitely not the sort of fit that he had the last time around we were in the Championship. Okay, let's move on to Bilal. I'll let you just take one, Luke. Now, he was obviously uncharacteristically substituted at half-time, but I think this is probably one of the few times where can you really argue? What did you make of Bilal's performance? Obviously, he has been heavily linked with Crystal Palace. It could again be his last performance. What did you make of his game today, Luke?
The reason I want him dropped deep, and I don't think you see the best out of him, and you will never see the best out of him if he's going to play the 10 if Jordan Ayew was on the pitch, because Jordan Ayew is getting in his way. He's the one to receive all these line-breaking passes when he drops deep. It's the ball is not getting... I'll touch more on Ayew when I rinse him when I come up to him, but if Ayew is going to be playing striker, I'm telling you right now, you are not going to get the best out of Bilal El-Khanous. You're just not. You're going to drop him deeper, or he's going to go to waste. Mark my words. If he's staying here this season, Ayew striker, it's not going to work if a 10 behind him. I'm telling you.
So, what did you make of him, Duck?
Invisible. I mean, played Casper the Ghost today. Didn't see much of the ball. I hope his head's not elsewhere, but could we get a few signings and then the window please close if he stays? Because, I mean, we know on his day how good he is, but he was not on his day. Yeah.
See, sorry, I said this, and fucking Neil from Beyond the 90, I love you, brother. I said from the get-go, he gives me Tillerman's vibes, except you may see a worldy goal from here and now and then. He is not going to be a prolific goal scorer. Mark my words. I've said it from the get-go, and everyone fucking laughed at me. Listen to this retarded Australian. He is not a centre attacking midfielder.
Yeah, fair enough from Leicester forever. Could have done better than bringing Daka on in his place, though. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, so you got 3. I think for me, he looks lost in his system at the moment. He needs a lot more work on the training ground. I think you could say that about most of our players, though. It's very disappointing how we don't really joined up and conducive against Fiorentina, and just we haven't seen that in the last 3 games at all. You can definitely say we're getting worse. Stephy Mavididi, Duck. I know you can see with Duck's expression, he literally cannot wait to go. He just wants to glaze Monga and get the hell out of here. But Stephy Mavididi, what did you make of him?
I thought he was mediocre today. He was also 3-man. I mean, he tries. I think Mavididi knows he can still be a key player for us, but with how Monga is playing behind him, right? When he comes on,
can you get into the team, Duck?
That's probably a way. I think his finishing, though, has been poor. Hasn't tried much finishing, and the few times the ball's bounced a bit weirdly, I'll give him that to him. He hasn't hit it correctly. But to be honest, at this point, I'd be able to see him try the 10. I'd be able to see him try the striker. Because I feel like Monga needs to be fitted into the team, and, well, he would take Mavididi's usual position.
Yeah. I mean, Lucas, there you go. Monga did better in that position today. I don't just think today. I think every single time Jeremy Monga's played in this position, he's by far the superior player. In every friendly, in every competitive game, every time he comes on. I don't think you can even argue it. But take even the goal away. Take even the assist that he should have got away. Monga is doing what he beats his man more often. But what do you think?
I think this is better. I'll tell you exactly what I think. This is the script for Stephy Mavididi in the last 6 to 12 months. Particularly let's describe the recency bias last 3 games. He's going to get the ball. He's going to take that first touch. He's going to look around. He's going to come up against his opposition player. He's going to stall. He's going to do a few step overs. He might beat his first man. He encounters the second man. He runs the ball out, goes out for a goal kick, or it goes out for a corner. Every single time. He's not cutting into his right. He's not taking shots. He's either beating his first man and just getting the ball out for a throw-in, or he, as you just mentioned, is hands down been beaten by Monga. Now, the good thing I can say about this, though, it's good to have options and it's good to have rotations. And Mavididi has proved that spells on the sidelines have lit a fire under his ass. But the reality is we need consistency from this man, and we have not seen it for a long time.
Yeah. Buzz, bang on. This is what we're going to cover in the analysis. The system doesn't suit Steffi like Enzo's does. The system means defenders don't need to mark centrally as there is a lack of threat. You see that a lot of times when we do make our second moves on transition. There's enough people to be boxing in that winger 2 or 3 times, and there isn't that inside 8 making an underlapping run, so you can, cause him some problems. Something that needs to be worked on going forward. 3.3 for Steffi today. Well, another player that we all love, but you got to say not his finest hour, was Abdul Fatawu. I'll start with you, Doug. What did you make of Abdul?
Energetic as always. That's probably one way to say it. Fights hard defensively. Really helped JJ. Offensively, he had a poor game. A bit too overeager on the shots. Struggled to beat his man. Struggled with the physicality of Small, was it? Yeah, Small had a brilliant game, man. Yeah. All credit to him. I thought Fatawu, at the very least, put the effort out there, right? And I mean, I'm at the point where that's not. You would think it's the bare minimum, but not everyone is even doing that, right? So he got, I think, one more point than most of the players I gave, because he at the very least kept trying.
Buzz is on fire today. Totally agree with this. Too selfish. It reminded me of Abdul in his first few games for us. He lacks sharpness. What about you, Luke? What did you make?
Yeah, Buzz has been coming out with some bangers today. I agree on the money of every single comment he's put in. Yeah, I think that Fatawu, unfortunately, shout out to, as you mentioned, Small, had a very good game. He was a bit too greedy sometimes. Although I do want him, like Fatawu, with some of the finishes we've seen and the confidence the lad has, I think you're allowed to have 2 to 3, chances like that, hero chances or shots at goal, but like when you get past 3, mate, like it's time to start, sharing the ball a bit more. And clearly, again, the same issue as Stephy Mavididi. We're missing the underlapping run of the high 8s. The wingers look isolated still, and we used to be able to compress people in the in that half space, and then if they were sitting deep and parking the bus, you had JJ or someone of the fullbacks crashing behind the 8 as well. So I miss those overloads.
Absolutely. All right, I think a lot of people are waiting for this one. It's your favourite player, or is it? I don't know, Luke. Jordan Ayew. I mean, I apologise. I was really bigging him up midweek, saying he did a great job in the false 9 position. But today, everything you could possibly do wrong, I think he did wrong. Talk to me, Luke, about Jordan Ayew.
Yeah, so obviously I'm a reactionary guy. I'm not his biggest fan, but I'm the same as you. I gave him some credit last week. I said in the preview, I just wish that he just dished the ball out a bit faster, because he's so slow when he's dropping deep, and then you need the wingers to make up for his lack of pace, and you have that on either side with either Mavididi, Fatawu, or Monga. Today, he was a fucking spud, useless, greedy turtle pig. Pissed me off so much. Where do I start from? All of these set pieces were fucking hospital passes to no one. Pissed me off so bad. Not squaring it to Winks at the end there was horrific. All of his set pieces are garbage. He was also another pig today that was just way worse than Fatawu as well. But how many times did this guy slow the ball down, did not dish the ball out, or he passed it backwards? He cannot do this false 9 role, and he shouldn't have been playing the full 90 minutes. This guy is an absolute turtle, pensioner, get rid. He shouldn't be starting. This is why we need a striker so bad, man. This guy cannot play the false 9 role just because of how slow he is, and he just doesn't dish the ball out fast enough. Pissed me off so bad today. Worst
well,
player
here
on
you go,
the
again, if you're going to hold the ball up, you need to distribute it. That's the entire point. And he had, I just looked at the stats, lost possession 12 times today. That is criminal. He actually was breaking down. He was, to be honest with you, you could make the argument that Preston's best defender today was Jordan Ayew. Go on, Doug. Got something to say.
I think he was the king of disrupting all flow we had. Every time we tried to do something on the break or in the build-up or in the box, when he got the ball, he would stop the play dead in his tracks. I mean, the one in the box where he could pass it to Winks was obvious. There were multiple times as well where we tried to play quickly up. It got to someone who ran a few meters, tried to beat the man, pass it to Ayew. What did Ayew do? He went back to the same roots of sticking his bum out, trying to win a free kick. We're not in the Premier League anymore, mate. Like, that's not what we needed to do. We need him to be quick and distribute the ball, but instead, it was shocking. Way too greedy with the shots as well. Shocking.
Someone else said, would you take Tayu Awini on loan? I think we obviously would. We need a striker right now if we can get around the injury problem. But, I mean, the team just looks desperate for new signings and new blood. Yeah, 2 is generous. I agree with you, Phil. I think I gave him lower than that, yeah. Okay, let's move on. What about the manager himself then? So lineup, he's basically picked the same lineup, but he's put in Harry Winks, so the Ollie skip. Luke, you actually visibly, crushed yourself there looking at me when I bring it to Marty Cifuentes. You said it before, you're the first one on the Van Nistelrooy hate train. So talk to me, you got some real problems. What did you make of Marty today?
I don't like like everyone, I'm sick of seeing this possession stat because it doesn't feel like we have that much possession. The one thing that really bothers me about Marty Cifuentes. You can say that he maybe didn't get the players he wanted in. He's come into preseason late, X, Y, and Z. But the one thing that is clearly evident that he favours, and if you remember that Andy King, before he even came, he was saying intensity. They obviously knew he was coming. He likes to pass the ball very quickly. We are seeing so many people taking poor first touches because he's having them ping the ball that fucking hard. People can barely control the ball, and you're already on the back foot trying to distribute it to someone else. In my opinion, our build-up play under Marty Cifuentes, huge asterisks. We would get torn to shreds under the Premier League even after a full season under this guy. He is not the answer in the long-term future, in my opinion. I hope to be wrong. Very reactionary thing for me to say after 2 games, I know. But I don't think that he's going to be good enough for the Premier League, mate. I really don't. And I don't even think we're going to get
Stop talking about the Premier League, mate. That's not.
I know,
That's not in your interest, man. Can you please?
Yeah.
Shut up about it, man, because that's why I think he would actually be one of the better managers we could have, right? With how he's handled relegation fights in the past. But like we're so far disconnected from that right now that it's not even something that needs to be in your thought. I mean, I think one of the issues is, Cifuentes needs more time, right? He's not been here long. I think tactical identity is a lot clearer than the past 2 managers we've had. The faults with the tactical identity are also clearer. How we can be exposed on transition. And then it's just abundantly clear that players either don't try hard enough, many of the best ones don't try hard enough, and he doesn't have the players for his system as well. Again, he needs a good ball-playing centre-back, but it can't be Yannick Vestergaard because he's way too slow to deal with being up so high and having to be able to deal with the transitions, right? So, yeah, he needs a lot of time before we really can grade him. I thought the sub today was incredibly bold of taking Bilal out, even though he had been ghosting, but...
He's got to have a major rethink, though, because the thing is that, like, you do obviously need time, right, to learn your team and get people used to a certain formation. But I mean, we got in that lineup, and at the start of the season, no one would have wanted to see Luke Thomas in that starting lineup. No one would have wanted to see Yannick Vestergaard in that starting lineup. To today, those two combined together to be shit, even more shit together, right? Because we literally, before a single ball was kicked from Marty Ball, we literally showed a diagram showing you if you played it into the diagonal, that's going to be the weakness all season long, right? You're going to need to have fast, mobile centre-backs if you're going to play this way. He hasn't done that, has he? You're going to have to learn, right? He started with Skip. How many people would have started with Skip this season who know Leicester, right? Difficult. So, of course, he's got time to turn it around, right? But at the moment, I would say that a lot of these kind of neutrals that have predicted Leicester not to make the playoffs and said that Marty Cifuentes would struggle and they weren't too impressed with the appointment, maybe they've got something to sort of say there. I'll bring this up because I think, Luke, you want to mention this. Caleb said, I hope we don't fall into the pattern Rude did and just play the same players over and over when they ain't getting done. What do you make of that?
That's like very, very alarming for me. The fact that he keeps persisting and starting of Luke Thomas is criminal. And then playing, like, Ayew should have been subbed off at least. He should have been hauled off at halftime, in my opinion. But, like, the fact that he played that whole game was disgusting. And then he was absolutely heaving at 80 minutes. Like, he should not have been playing the full game. I'm very concerned. I will give him his credit, though. Like, from what I've seen, he's made some decent subs. The Daka one was very questionable, though, this week. But I want to see who he starts next week. If he starts Luke Thomas again, I'm going to be very irritated. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Well, let's see. I mean, to be fair, he has taken Skip out of the team, but I think he's got to do that with quite a few other players right now. Okay. Got to talk about the referee.
One of the worst.
Not. Just want to put it out there. Not the reason why we lost this game. We're not saying that, right? But as a referee and performance, Duck, you're the first one there to mention something.
I mean, absolutely shocking. Nothing wrong with the goals or anything that Preston scored. They were all obviously very correct. But normally a referee sets the line, right? Sometimes fouls maybe get won pretty easily, but that's just the way the game is. Like in that particular game, the ref is pretty tough on fouls. Even soft one gets given, but that's the line, right? That's how it always is in that game. Like the fact here, there was no standard of what was a foul. We saw players dragged by the shirt when they're trying to receive the ball, literally almost falling over, and then Preston got a free kick forward. Or they could do the most crazy things. Nothing happened. We did a small bit of physicality, instant foul. Like there was no consistency. Shocking refereeing performance. I think Daniel Dobson says it pretty well there.
Fuck this scumbag piece of shit. He looks like he's definitely a Preston End fan. He's got a vein on his fucking side of his head that looks like a cock vein, and his forehead looks like a thumb. This guy's an ugly bastard, and he's a fucking fraud. Should never ref a game again. Again, just to reiterate what Anil just said, he is not the reason we lost this game, but he is still an absolute inept fucking moron.
Yeah, he let some very dangerous challenges go as well, and there was definitely periods in the game where like they were. There was one. Look, not my favourite player, but there was one with Patson Daka where the defender hauled Patson Daka's shirt, always ripped it off him, and then gave the free kick to Preston.
That was shocking.
That was mental. 2-4. I think you lot have been generous. That is one of the worst ref. And you're right, though, Slate. It's a championship. It will be like this all season, I think, especially away from home, where you're going to be given the home decisions. All right, let's move on to the subs. First sub we made was Patson Daka. Now, this really is Luke's other favourite player. So that was a change. He took Bilal off. He moved Jordan Ayew into the 10 and put Patson Daka on top of him. Never really looked like scoring, though, did he? What did you make of Patson Daka today?
I can't believe how much we paid for this guy, and like how much the Zambians believe in this guy like the next coming of Christ. He is an absolute, one of the worst dud signings I think we've ever made. Honestly, he's up there with Gazelle. Like, he is a waste of space, chasing fucking shadows the whole time. He offers nothing. His pace doesn't even help us out today. There's nothing this guy can do whatsoever to make this team look better at all. And this is his third or fourth season here now. We so badly need a striker, man. I just ranted to you about how I feel about Ayew, and Daka is even worse. Like, he's had so many chances to prove himself. It's never going to come. I don't even think he can do a job consistently, like if he played for a championship club. If they started this striker from start to end of season, he does not get more than 12 goals for me. And that's being generous, man. This guy is a League One striker at best. He is absolutely woeful.
What did you make of him, Duck?
Had a rough time physically today. He was a bit shocking. But I do also feel a bit bad for him because there were times where he did the right things, but he was just stopped by defenders genuinely pulling his shirt. And he got nothing in return for it. So I think he put in he worked a bit, but the reaction to the Monga goal was shocking as well. I think I gave him like a 3. I thought, he was also had a bit of problems with the ref. I thought it was a bit generous, but I think it's okay. Is the next one the big one? Is the next one the one where I can smile a bit?
Let's talk about the one bright spot in today's game.
God.
His first goal for the club. Should have probably got his first assist as well, but not his fault. Mm-hmm. How amazing was Jeremy Monga today? 16 years old, the youngest scorer in EFL history outside of the Premier League, beating Jude Bellingham.
Best player on the pitch when he came on. Up until that point, it was Small from Preston North End. When he came on, it was Monk. I can't remember a single thing he did wrong. We complained about the crosses as well, by the way. Later on, we tried to push for the equaliser. Who did the crosses? Monka. Did they almost connect with a man who were always dangerous? Yes, they were. Was his goal brilliant? Yes. Did he beat his man? Not just practically, but also stylishly at multiple times, doing it in illegal ways? Yes. Did he track back and help out in defense? Yes. Did he step a foot wrong? No. 10, 10, 10. Brilliant performance. Only reason I can smile today, because at the very least, man, I get to see this kid throughout the season, and he can give me some hope.
Yeah, didn't deserve to be on a losing team, that's for sure. Luke, what did you make of Jeremy Monga today?
He's so good, you almost don't want to play him, eh? Like, he's an absolute monster. This kid's going to be he's the next Lamine Yamal. I think people probably laugh what Manny said earlier about being the next Euro star. This guy could make the England squad now, I think. Not the under-21s, 23s. This guy needs to be in the England squad. This guy's a freak. Enjoy him while you can, because this is going to be the only season that you see him play for Leicester City. You will not see him if we somehow magically get promoted, if we stay in the Championship. Doesn't matter what league we're in, League One, Championship, Premier League, he will not be wearing a Leicester City shirt next season. So soak it up, enjoy it where you can. This guy is an absolute nightmare to be matched up against.
Yeah, agree with JC74. Great prospect as Monga is. It's an indictment on this group of players that we already relying on him. He's got a start for me. And given a 9.5 by you guys. So no.
That's harsh. Should have had the 10.
Well, you could say that, maybe not for long enough. But
I think, at the very least, regardless of whatever happens, we have this kid for a year. And when he goes, we get a fee for him. Like, John Rutkin, you will have blood on your hands if you don't sell this kid for 50+ million. I'm not even joking. The talent he has at his age.
Especially if we don't get promoted, you may not be able to get... Right now, the record sale will go to Omari Hutchinson of Ipswich Town.
He breaks that easily, genuinely. And I mean, as I'm chatting to my mates who are QPR fans and Portsmouth, who've all lost today, right? I sent them the goal. They said, nice goal. They'd rather have their one kid. They haven't seen him. Like, everyone who has seen him knows. You can ask the Preston North End fans after this game, is Monga a real talent? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, anyone who's ever watched him play 20 minutes knows.
His left foot back heel to meg the defender.
Oh, it's unbelievable.
Where do you even think of that stuff? Outrageous.
He looked like a
so
fucking
good.
sorcerer. That was like almost cheating. It was that fucking good. This kid's 16 years old, right? So if we were to sell him next season, let's say he's 17 years old, whoever buys him, whoever that club is going to get at least bare minimum 5 years of absolute glory from him, and then easily could sell him onto an even bigger club.
The thing is, he's going to the biggest club. Like, he's not going to the middle station.
I agree with Luke. I reckon the smart thing to do would be what Jude Bellingham did, and you sell him to Dortmund or something. Hear me out. They might do a deal where they sell him to Dortmund, but Dortmund puts in like a 35% sell-on fee or something like that. So,
exactly.
So you don't actually get that much necessarily up front, but you know you're going to get a second. Anyway, look, that can be another sort of process.
Yeah, let's not talk about selling him. Let's just enjoy him while we have him. Please, please, please. Every single minute he's on the pitch in a Leicester shirt. Just fucking enjoy it. Oh, yeah, let's talk about... I can't believe he did that.
Okay, now this is a guy that is understandably much aligned with Leicester, but while Faes came on, I felt he was pretty good. Didn't
he was pretty alright today, man.
What did you make of him then, Duck?
I mean, you can talk about the booing and the celebration last week and whatnot, but he's a good footballer in the Championship. I thought he showed that today. And he put his head down, he worked in the game, made a difference when he came on. I think I gave him a 5.
Yeah, I would probably agree with this, that Faes probably needs to start.
Yep.
Of all the defenders, he actually can pass. You saw he was joining with the attacks and doing a good job. But unlike Vestergaard, he's not so slow that he'll get absolutely destroyed. So there is an argument, I would say, to have something like Okoli, Nelson, Faes together or something like that. What do you make of him, Luke?
What's really important about Wout Faes is because we're absolutely screaming for this, because there is no one, especially without Keenan Dewsbury Hall, without Buonanotte, we have no players that can progressively carry the ball up the pitch, and you shouldn't be relying on your centre backs to do that. But if you are going to be expecting to have a lot of possession, he's the only centre back that I feel confident that can take that ball and drive it up the pitch and make a pass. So at this level, Wout Faes is actually one of the best centre backs. So I think he needs to be starting. I agree. If it's going to be a centre-back partnership and not a back three, for me, Okoli and Wout Faes are the two centre-backs I want to see starting.
And then you sub on Ben Nelson to get him in. Because I think, we all wanted Ben Nelson, right? And then he dropped that one stinker. He also needs some game time in his legs. So I think Wout Faes, Caleb Okoli will be mine for now. And then I think he has made quite a few centre-back substitutions, right? Then you try bringing Nelson into the heat slowly to see if he'll eventually take over for any of them. Because I think Nelson has the attributes to work in this system as well.
Yeah, this is cool about playing him as a CDM, as the 6.
You could actually.
Yeah, it's honestly not the worst take I've ever heard. We could discuss that another time. It's something to do. Casey McAtee, he wasn't really on to do much, so I'll just go to the rating 3.7.
Yeah. I will say, just shortly though, I do think in games where Fatawu struggles, he has such a different skill set that he can be of use. Like we saw, he has the pace and the work rate and a bit more physicality. He can definitely, beat his man if the ball is played for him to beat him in pace and then get a first touch cross in and be decent at that. He can also offer a bit of a threat in the air. So I think he'll have a small role to play this season, but mainly off the bench in specific situations.
Cool. All right, then the last sub was Hamza Choudhury.
Nothing
came
to say,
on
didn't see
for
him
Justin, who had obviously got injured. He was actually playing in the left-back position. What did you make of him? I'll start with you, Luke.
I'm not a fan of Hamza Choudhury, but he doesn't normally play off the left. I've never seen him play off the left-hand side before. He did a job today. He did nothing bad. I got nothing negative to say about him, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Nice to see that he has the versatility too, to play the left back, right?
Yeah.
And didn't stick out like a soft thumb when he played in a position he's not used to. So, yeah, credit to him. Not much more to say.
Yeah, he was all right. So who starts in fullback in next time round then?
Just not.
I'm guessing that Ricardo's going to probably be back in the team.
Please. I think Ricardo just fits the system so well, man. The way he kind of progress upon the pitch as well. First thought when I heard about the Marty Cifuentes system was that Ricardo could be phenomenal in this, but yeah.
Well, we'll see. I mean, the way the system is, it's not the best. All right, let's look at the rest of the championship today then. So here are the results. Sheffield Wednesday got beat 3-0 at home by Stoke. We obviously lost there to Preston. Swansea beat Sheffield United. That's another team, sort of parachute team having a bad time.
Good to see.
Birmingham were 1-0 down, but scored the 98th minute winner with Lyndon Dykes. I am not looking forward to that game at the end of the month. They're going to fancy their chances against us right now. Watford 2, QPR 1. Bristol and Charlton drew. Borough had a bad result midweek, but won 3-0 away at Millwall, who were hipsters close to playoffs. Yeah. Norwich got their first win. Wrexham lose again, and mental game there. Derby against Coventry. Ipswich plays Southampton tomorrow. Didn't realise that. That'd be a good one to watch. And what does that mean? That means that forward the table, early days, but we are in 11th place. That late win by Birmingham takes us above us. So already a point behind, or at least 3 points behind some of the other teams that might be going for it. So not the greatest. Just before we go, I want to ask you guys about this, which I think is definitely the case, right? I'll bring the fixtures up as well while I'm talking about this. So, lads, there is a major problem with the squad and the rot has set in. We need open heart surgery as soon as possible. And this is a bang-on comment because look at what happened there, right? So when we conceded that second goal, heads dropped. There was no sort of attitude that we could still win it. They gave up, in my opinion. Winks going down the tunnel right away. A lot of moaning. You saw the fact that the teammates don't even seem to be celebrating with one another. You know, and the manager hasn't started in the best possible way. There's already probably going to be doubt with him, even though, in my opinion, whoever comes in is going to be a tough job. Basically, the problem is you put all of these things together and it puts you in a really negative situation, especially when the fans are already booing the team and begging for blood. Understandably so, when they've been treated like absolute shit by the ownership. What are we going to do? It's not looking good, is it?
There's a cancer, and Buzz is hit the nail on the head. Winks going to the town, not wanting to celebrate. He clearly wants to be gone. He's wanting to leave ever since Enzo left. It may be the only reason he dropped down to the championship in the first place. Faes ear cupping the fans. The team's getting booed before they even get onto the pitch. There's players getting booed coming off the bench. So many players are probably like, why the fuck am I even here? I've been relegated the second time. They're booing me before I've even kicked the ball. And just the amount of managers that we've been through, the amount of different formations and styles, and everything that's changed so much rapidly from going from Enzo Maresca to Orc Ball to Botox-lipped fucking Dutch garbage under Ruud van Nistelrooy, and then to Marty Ball. It's just like the players are all probably more confused than we are. There's a major rot in the club right now. I'm very concerned. There's not much we could do for open heart surgery because of all these financial restrictions.
I think
we still don't even know what the points deduction is. Sorry.
Genuinely, I'd rather see anyone who doesn't want to be here. We take what we can get for them, get them off the books. And if what you have to bring in or can bring in is mid-table championship players and our youngsters who want to be here, I'd rather see that a team that is battling week in, week out with players giving everything they've got and youngsters. Except, like, other than this, like, it's just so tiring. I'm so tired of these mental issues and us feeling like I feel like we're our own biggest enemy, man. And it fucking sucks, man.
Yeah, I do agree with you both, and it doesn't lead to good reading, does it? Well, let's leave it there. Get rolled on the phone. Is that what you say? Like, the thing is that, look, just to put this into context, right? Even if the manager, again, doesn't turn out to be a particularly good one, is that you're fighting such a difficult battle. Right, I'll say it again. How many players has Marty signed that he probably wanted? Maybe Asmir Begovic. That's not a first-team player, right? So you're dealing with players that are pissed off. You're dealing with low morale. You're dealing with an upset fan base. The guy even paid some of his own money to come and join the club, right? But he is being way too ambitious, I think. Anyway, guys, let's leave it there. There'll be Good Morning Foxes tomorrow. That'll be a fun one. Join logs for that one. Thank you to Andreas. Thank you to Luke. And thank you to all of you for joining in, which was unfortunately a sad 2-1 defeat away to Preston. Let's say we can get back on the bandwagon. See here, next game is 12:30 next week against Charlton. Hopefully we're better in that one. Thank you, everyone, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Massive thank you to today's sponsor, Match Bingo. Over 200 grand has been paid out to players so far by taking sports betting, football and bingo and combining them into one amazing app. Make sure to get your bingo card for any Leicester City game in the upcoming season Click that link in the description or via the QR code on screen.